we have 68 divided by 2. So we have 6 tens and 8 units, and we need to divide those into 2 groups. So now we're going to learn long division. So we write our dividend with a line on top of it and a line to the left, and we write our divisor on the left. So we start by dividing our 6 tens by 2. So let's share out our 6 tens. So we shared out our 6 tens between 2 groups to give us 3 tens in each group. So we can write 3 above our tens column because 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now you might notice the minus sign here. So this tells us that we started with 6 tens and we shared out 6 tens. So now we have no tens left. So we could write a 0 here, or we can just leave it blank. So now we bring down our 8 units because that's what we need to share out next. So if we share out those 8 units, we shared out all 8 of our units, so we can write -8 to show this, and we have 4 units in each group because 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now 8 minus 8 is 0, which tells us that we have no remainder. So this number at the top tells us our answer, so 68 divided by 2 equals 34. Now we have 72 divided by 3. So let's write 72 inside the lines and 3 on the outside. So we can start by sharing our 7 tens into 3 groups. But we can't share out this 7th 10 because with division we need to share equally. So we're only able to share out 6 tens, which means we have 2 tens in each group because 6 divided by 3 is 2. But now if we started with 7 tens and we shared out 6, we have 1 10 left over. So what are we going to do with this 10? Well, to be able to share out our remaining 10, we need to break it up into 10 units. We need to exchange our 10 for 10 units. So now, if we bring down our 2 units, we make the number 12, and that tells us that we now have 12 units to share out. So we can share out those 12 units and we shared out all 12 of those units, so we can write -12 to show this. And we have 4 units in each group because 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now 12 minus 12 is 0, which tells us that we have no remainder. So 72 divided by 3 equals 24. Now we have 123 divided by 3. So let's write that out. Now we can't share out this 100 because with division we have to share equally. So if we can't share out any hundreds, we've shared out 0 hundreds, and we have 0 hundreds in each group. So if we started with 100 and we haven't shared any out, we still have 100. So what are we going to do with this 100? Well, to be able to share it out, we need to break it up into 10 tens. We need to exchange our 100 for 10 tens. So now, if we bring down our 2 tens, we make the number 12. And that tells us that we now have 12 tens to share out. So we can share out those tens. And we shared out all 12 of those tens, so we can write minus 12 to show this. And we have 4 tens in each group, because 12 divided by 3 is 4. So now we've dealt with our tens, so we can bring down our 3 units. And we can share out all 3 of those units, so we can write minus 3. And we have 1 unit in each group, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. Now 3 minus 3 is 0, which tells us that we have no remainder. So 123 divided by 3 equals 41. Now we have 96 divided by 4, so let's write that out. And let's start by sharing out our 9 tens between our 4 groups. We can't share out this 9th 10 because with division we need to share equally. So we're only able to share out 8 tens, which means we have 2 tens in each group, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. But now, if we started with 9 tens and we shared out 8, we have 1 10 left over. So what are we going to do with this 10? Well, to be able to share out this remaining 10, we need to break it up into 10 units. We need to exchange our 10 for 10 units. So now, if we bring down our 6 units, we make the number 16. And that tells us that we now have 16 units to share out. So we can share out those units. And we shared out all 16 of those units, so we can write minus 16 to show this. And we now have 4 units in each group, because 16 divided by 4 is 4. Now 16 minus 16 is 0, which tells us that we have no remainder. So 96 divided by 4 equals 24.